Grind to Greatness, episode 32. So today was a little bit of a shorter session, only about maybe an hour and 15 minutes, because I played a ton of pickup yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I actually saw a lot of improvements in my game. But yeah, I kept today a little shorter because I was very tired from that. And I wanted to do some acceleration work today. Not that much, but do some acceleration work, some first touch work, and then some finishing, and that's about it. Here, just doing the different starts. I actually incorporated a different drill that I haven't tried before, but essentially you saw it there, just a 90-degree turn while I'm accelerating. Then warmed up with some juggling on the ball, tried some laces juggling there. Inside of the foot, outside of the foot. I'm getting better with my left foot outside of the foot juggling, which is really good to see. And this drill, I basically just had a box of cones set up. You can't see the two blue cones at the front just because they don't fit in the frame, but essentially just throwing the ball up and taking a directional touch to one of the cones that I picked. And I was actually really happy with how my whip finish technique progressed today. I kind of watched some people, like professionals, to see how they do it, and I was kind of trying to replicate. I watched like a small like tutorial too, and while the finishes may not look better on the surface, they were feeling a lot better because I was focusing more on my follow through, landing on my shooting leg, and also pointing my plant foot, pointing the toes slightly outside the goal, because I think I had my toes pointing right at the goal, which was making it super hard to keep my hips facing the right way. But when I started pointing my hips slightly outside of the goal, like slightly outside the post, it made it a lot easier to get the whip on the ball and keep my hips facing the right way. So, like I said, you guys can just watch here. I also focused on connecting the ball really in between my laces and my instep of my foot. But yeah, talking about that pickup game yesterday, there was just a bunch of guys at the mini fields here at my university, and I played about 3 hours with them probably, and it was really good. I saw a lot of improvements in my dribbling and just my decision making, which was really good. That's one of the pros about actually playing with people, is that you can make decisions based on real people, not just imagination and stuff like that. But I'll just let all the shots run through here. This was all the shots that I took throughout the session. I was actually going to do some other finishing as well, just kind of like outside of the box, straight on at the goal, right in front of the goal. But I actually just really wanted to solidify this technique, kind of because it was feeling good. It was feeling like I was getting it right, which was a big step up from last episode. So I really just wanted to try and solidify the muscle memory as much as possible. Obviously, you can't solidify it in one practice session, but I wanted to do that as much as possible, and I was actually really enjoying this. So I just decided to do this for the whole session, or not the whole session, but this was the only finishing drill that I did. And yeah, I think I'll just let the rest of the finishes run through here. There's not too many more, but yeah, you guys can see the progression throughout the session, and I'm really excited to continue to work on this actually. And this is going to be the last finish there. There you go. That was the end of the session. Like I said, only around an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, and I really only did 2 drills, but I think it was still a really good session. I think I improved a lot. And yeah, on to the quote of the episode. And the quote of the episode for today is, "The night is always darkest before the dawn." And I know this is a really corny quote, but I chose it for today because after last session, I was pretty disheartened. Like I said, with my finishing, especially on this whip finish, it felt like I wasn't getting it right at all, and I felt like I had gone backwards in my progress. But that's, it's just one session later where I'm feeling actually a lot better about my technique, and I just had to know that I just had to keep working and just keep going, and things would turn around. So the quote, "The night is darkest before the dawn," means that when things look hopeless or when things feel the worst, just know that the best is to come. So take that with you guys for today, and I'll see you in episode 33.